Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're doing well. We of course got the bird here. Love that. It's called Obscure Escape. It's called Obscure Escapes Throughout History in a Nutshell. Everything's in a nutshell. This guy loves nuts. All right, let's jump right into it. What do we got, BlueJay?
A Canadian goose. If you've ever come across a Canadian goose or gone to a Percy Jackson premiere, chances are you've had to make an escape at some point in your life. And just like CIA-backed coups, there have been no shortages of escapes throughout history. So today, we're going to cover some of the more captivating freedom flights history has to offer.
Let's do it. See? That's what I was talking about.
Julius Caesar is widely known for being a Roman
Oh, he's going to talk about Alexandria.
emperor loved by all, especially his friends. But what is rarely talked about are his more youthful days, back in the good old days of the
Oh, I know what he's going to talk about.
Roman Republic. Pirates infested the Mediterranean. The Romans left them alone because, while, yes, the swashbucklers terrorized the high seas, they made up for it with all the good things. Left them alone because, while, yes, the swashbucklers terrorized the
Cannons. Ships would be around. Yeah,
high seas,
yeah.
they made up for it with all the good things they did. Like selling people. In 75 BCE, Cilician pirates captured a 25-year-old Julius Caesar. The pirates told him his ransom was 20 talents of silver.
He's like, you better raise that ransom.
Do you know who I am? No, I'm worth 50. Men were sent to get the increased ransom, and Caesar settled into his new life of captivity. But just because you're a captive doesn't mean you have to act like one. And Julius Caesar certainly didn't. Caesar treated the pirates like they were his subjects, going as far as
Very on-brand.
demanding their silence when he was trying to sleep. In his 38 days in captivity, he spent most of his time writing and reciting his poetry and speeches to the pirates. He also took part in their games, and as time went on, the pirates grew to like and respect him. However, Caesar would occasionally threaten to have them crucified once he escaped. Yahtzee. Oh, I'm gonna crucify the fuck out of you. You Romans have the best jokes. Joke? Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just joking. While the pirates thought he was pulling a funny, Caesar was a man of his word. After his ransom was paid, he raised a naval force despite holding no place in public office
I don't know about this.
and captured the pirates. Before he had them crucified, however, Caesar was overcome with a sense of mercy. So, in a show of leniency, he settled for cutting their throats instead. Always the gentleman. In 1265, before Edward I became King of England, he was a prisoner of Simon de Montfort during a civil war. One day, Edward went out riding under the supervision of a company of knights, and asked if he could try out each of the horses in turn. Keep in mind, when a person of royal blood went to prison, that basically just meant living upper middle class. He proceeded to ride them
And a lot of times, not just Middle Ages, but like ancient history too, people would have prisoners as political leverage, and they would offer their own people, their own family as prisoners, as like insurance sometimes, just showcase their aims for political diplomacy.
one by one, testing their speed. Fantastic. So, this is the last one then? Yeah, this is Comet. He's the fastest stallion we've got. Excellent. Well, see ya. After mounting the final horse, he bade his captors farewell and rode off. The knights, with their horses too tired to give chase, just sat and watched as their captive and careers disappeared. Out of
So they're just stupid then.
the 928 prisoners who attempted to escape Auschwitz, only 196 would be successful. In 1942, Kazimierz Piechowski would attempt to become one of those lucky few. Piechowski knew the consequences of attempting to escape were horrendous. For every prisoner that tried, 10 others were to be starved to death. But after he found out that his friend was scheduled to be killed, Piechowski decided to form a plan. He figured that if he can get not one, but an entire 4-person work unit to disappear, then surely only their block supervisor would be held responsible. On a Saturday morning, they snuck through the first camp gate, stole some officer uniforms, and jacked a commandant's car. As they approached the main gate, they are greeted with a Hail Hitler by some officers as they drove past. But as they approached the final barrier, they saw that it remained shut. A few of them started to panic, but Piechowski, seeing as they were dealing with Nazis, did the only thing he could think of: aggressively shout loudly in German.
Oh my goodness.
The gate opened and our daring escapees rode to freedom. Luckily, just as Piechowski planned, only his supervisor was punished for the escape. Next, we
That is insane. Whoa. That's like a... Wow. They were able to take the vehicle... Oh my god. That's like... I don't even have words for that. How that is ambitious.
The story of Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi was on a business trip to Hiroshima in 1945 when the Americans decided to try out their newest toy. He was only 3 kilometers away when there was a great flash in the sky and he was blown over, temporarily blinded. Despite serious radiation burns and being heavily bandaged, Yamaguchi made his way home and reported to work only 3 days later in Nagasaki.
Oh my god.
His supervisor was calling him mad at his description of the atomic bomb, just as the Americans erased another city from existence. Apparently, it takes more than the force of 35,000 tons of TNT to do Yamaguchi in, because he survived that one too. To put that into perspective, that's about as much power as it takes to sit through an entire Percy Jackson movie without pouring bleach in your eyes. I don't know if I've made it clear how much I hate those. Just like how Shawshank Redemption had the character Red, a video on escapes isn't complete without an Irishman. So,
that was a very different one right there. That's more or less not an escape, more of an opportunistic luck of the draw, because he very much could have. He really didn't have any. He didn't really have a say of if he was going to live or die in those two scenarios. It was more or less circumstantial.
Finally, we have the story of future Irish President Eamon de Valera. In 1919, de Valera was being held in British-controlled Lincoln Prison, where he noticed a door leading to freedom in the exercise yard. He managed to get a wax impression on a candle of the key to the door, but the guards at Lincoln were thorough, so he needed to find a creative way to get the mold to his contacts. De Valera turned to a fellow prisoner who happened to be a cartoonist, and had him draw an exact replica of the key in a cartoon. The rebels outside made a key following the cartoon's diagram, which was then sent to de Valera baked inside of a cake. A strategy any avid Looney Tunes viewer would immediately see through, but seeing as the cartoon wouldn't make its debut until a decade later, they were in the clear. Hey, I was hoping you'd get this cake to my friend Eamon. You see, it's his birthday, and I just wanted to do something nice for him. It's just a vanilla cake filled with vanilla. Nothing else inside at all, just vanilla. Okie dokie, I'll get this right to him then. But the key was too
Was he Canadian?
small, so they sent a second cartoon a few days later. Hey, so today's Eamon's birthday, and I was just hoping you could send this chocolate-filled cake to him. It's filled with just chocolate, by the way. Of course, just get this to him, please. Wait, weren't you just here a few days ago for his birthday? Oh no, you must be mistaken. That was a year ago when I gave him that vanilla-only cake filled with not but vanilla. Oh, well, time flies when you're having fun in prison. I'll deliver this for you. That key didn't work either, so instead of making a third, the rebels just decided to give him the tools to make the key himself. So, today's my friend Demon's birthday, and I've got this fruitcake for him. Hold up. Now, I'm pretty certain you were just here for his birthday. Huh? Oh, did I say today's Eamon's birthday? No. I meant to say that today's Eamon's dog's birthday. Yep, yeah, I'm giving him a cake to celebrate his dog's birthday.
A fruitcake?
Blimey, that's gotta be the sweetest thing I've ever... Say, what's that noise? Oh, that'll be the fruit. It's a fruitcake, and you know how fruit rattles. Well, I've got to try me some rattling fruit one day. Another prisoner made a master key for the facility, which de Valera used to unlock his cell door. De Valera, along with the 2 other prisoners, snuck across the yard, unlocked the door, and became the first people to ever escape from Lincoln Prison. To avoid further detection, de Valera dressed himself as a woman and strolled by some guards who were too busy flirting with girls to notice. Hey, good looking, you know I can do a lot more than abuse prisoners with this baton. Oh yeah? Like what? Duh, taxes, fuck, I didn't know I'd get this far. By the time de Valera's absence was noted, he was already miles away in Manchester. Probably eating some cake. So, in conclusion, while throughout history, escapes were filled with cross-dressing, swashbuckling, plutonium fissioning adventures, today, mentioning an escape usually refers to those popular escape rooms where teenagers having finished their 5th rewatch of Sherlock could approve their massive intellect to minimum wage employees. 9 out of 10 stars.
Whew. A BlueJay video is always a ride. It's like a roller coaster. You don't never know what you're gonna get on. Well, it's like a roller coaster in the dark. That's probably a good analysis. I never heard of. The only one I've ever heard of. I actually heard of the. Obviously, I heard of the Julius Caesar one. I actually also have heard of the one where the guy survived 2 like consecutive atomic bomb strikes. It's crazy to think that, and there's probably. I wonder if he's the only example. And I wonder how long did he survive with radiation burns and that exposure. So wasn't, because most people are still counted as a victim if they die eventually, right? So not sure there, but very interesting stuff. I never knew the other, the one with the Irish and the, what was the other one? I never knew the concentration camp one. Yeah, those it was just 4. Yeah, I never knew those. Interesting stuff. Would you have been able would you have been able to name one that wasn't mentioned here, like a crazy escape that you know of? I know there's probably a few that that are prominent, but are they obscure enough? That's the question. Thank you guys for watching. It's been another fun BlueJay video. He's got a ton of fun videos. We're gonna react to all of them. Until next time, peace out. Bye bye.